welcome to the Paradigm Shift episode 122. 122. We have a dynamic special guest on today. Someone that I love very much, who I consider to be the future of both health optimization and personal development. Dr. Tyler Panzner. Buckle up. But first, bringing on my iconic partner in crime, the big, sexy, articulate alligator, Dave Meltzer. What are you excited about? What was a big win for you this week? Or a small win? Let's have some fun. There he is.
Hey, what's going on, my friend?
Hey there, Uncle Dave. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to be back in the closet.
I don't know why I thought that was funny. It's
I
like
do too.
the 10-year-old self in me. I noticed that you're not wearing a hat today. What gives? Where's your blessed hat?
I got a speech right after this, so I got to be off here in 20 minutes, and so I'm going to go ahead, put some gel in afterwards, and jump on to the speech.
We have a very special guest on today, one of my one-on-one clients whom I consider to be the future, and I'm excited for you to connect with him first. But as always, let's get started. You ready to get a little weird?
Let's get weird.
Okay. I was checking out your content this week, as I always do, so I could learn from it and grow from it, and I can't suggest it enough to the audience. And one thing that you were talking about, and I thought was pretty cool, but I'd also like to learn more, is don't underestimate the power of an open-ended question. Tell us more, Uncle Dave.
Yeah, because of the size, scope, and scale of our audience, our reach, and the perpetual nature of content, that we have to be more interested than interesting. And the best way to meet people where they're at, determine whether they have an open mind, open heart, and open hands, determine how and where they are. So we can get to the ultimate two questions. If you understand that today, the two questions that you want to be able to get to are either, would it help you if, or do you know anyone that can help me? These are the only two questions that will catapult you and allow you to aggregate your community. It'll allow you to create exponentiality of results and accelerate your desires or better in your life. And so in order to get to those two questions, to meet people where they're at, to listen for the value that they're listening for, we have to utilize an open-ended question to learn. And then as we continue to ask more open-ended questions, we learn more and more that are aligned with the capabilities that we have, the skills we have, the knowledge of who and what that we have, and our desires that will be synergistic or supplementary to what they want. And when we can determine that through open-ended questions, we're capable of providing and articulating value and asking one of those two golden questions. Would it help you if, or do you know anyone that could help me? And I have that open-ended question template, as you saw in that video. So if anybody wants that, it's changed my life. I've revamped the entire 5 to Thrive selling system I created for over the last 35 years to a simple open-ended question template. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. DM me in the notes there, david@dmeltzer.com. So appreciate you asking about the open-ended question guide, my brother, and I look forward to sharing it with others. It changed the way that I do personally and professionally my activities.
I'm just trying to figure, first of all, beautifully said, I'm just trying to figure out if you're more of a sage or a bag of beliefs.
You saw that, did you? Yeah, I wanted to comment on that real quick, then we'll let Tyler come in. So, I believe we're all a bag of beliefs, and those beliefs empower above us and below us. So you're a bag of beliefs, and your beliefs are what influence your feelings. That's the up side, right? Your inspiration. Your beliefs have power up. Your beliefs also have power down. Your beliefs are what cause you to think certain thoughts, say certain words, and do certain things. And so when you realize you're a bag of beliefs and you see how the bag of beliefs influencing the up and the down in your life, you're able to see that you give meaning to everything that you do, say, think, believe, and feel by that bag of beliefs. And we want to make sure that our bag is full of positive beliefs. And then people will call you a sage.
You have a nice bag.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna
Not just the ones under my eyes, but yes, thank you.
I'll bring it on Dr. Tyler right now. Oh, Helene Siegel's in the house, my mom. Say hello.
Hi, Mom.
Dave, you look mighty handsome today.
You are too, my friend. Your mom should be very proud of you.
I'm excited for this. Dr. Tyler.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for having me on. Excited to be chatting.
Good morning. Look at those traps, Dave.
I know.
I'm not the most handsome guy.
You know, it reminds me back when I was 20 something.
Yeah.
We're going to get started right away. I can't stress enough how excited I am about Dr. Tyler. For our community who might not have been familiar, do a deep dive, play catch up, opt into his emails. He's nothing but a bag of knowledge and so forth. But I wanted to hit the ground running. One of the things that you talk about often is health optimization. It's one of the things that you're all about. How do you personally view health optimization, Dr. Tyler?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my personal approach on this is I think that every single human being has these genetic mutations, misspellings in the DNA. They can do a wide array of things. People want to focus on this one certain BRCA gene mutation for breast cancer, or these big bad mutations that are associated with all these horrible diseases. I look at it at a holistic end. So are you making vitamin D properly? How much vitamin D should be in your bloodstream? Maybe you have a little bit of some dopamine issues as well. So basically figuring out the weakest points of your cells. Which nutrients do your cells, your unique cells, need more of? Let's give them exactly that. Which things are they sensitive to? Let's remove that. So through supplementation, diet, lifestyle, and kind of let the cells do their own thing. I'm a firm believer. I was trained in conventional medicine, but kind of what you were saying, David, as well, the whole belief system, all these things, how they literally turn on genes that stop inflammation. They literally turn on genes that raise your dopamine levels. So having these good belief systems in your corner and your toolkits, I like to think of it as, literally lets you enter these flow states better. They let you do not only a higher quality of work, but you can do more volume of that work because you are truly aligned with your passion and what you're actually doing.
David, is this cat the total package or what?
Yeah, well, you sing in my song, and throughout the years, especially as I looked at high performance optimal health systems that have been utilized in the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, is exactly aligned with what Tyler's saying, that they actually look at dead and alive blood cells to determine who you are. And then they know exactly what's causing ease or dis-ease. And then when you incorporate this holistic approach, not just the medicinal approach or a Western medicinal approach, and you realize that we have a genetic and an energetic inheritance that activates at the epigenetic layer, and that we have and are already healed. It just takes doctors like Tyler to allow us to be aware of what we're doing to interfere with our natural homeostasis, our natural being of ease. And it's becoming more and more prominent, and it's absolutely scientifically and philosophically, theoretically, and religiously, spiritually proven what Dr. Tyler is talking about. It's all one. And I helped, through doctors like Tyler, change my entire paradigm of faith, that if I'm connected to and through this omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source, what am I doing to interfere with it at a cellular level? And that we now have the ability to, number one, be aware, and two, to be able to treat it with nutrition. But literally, food itself used to be medicinal. Now it's disease. And it's people like you, Tyler, that are changing the world from the inside out. So I want to thank you and keep up the work, and whatever I can do to promote your message. You got a friend in me, just like some of the cartoons would say. Call me Buzz Lightyear.
Really appreciate that. You really did hit the nail on the head. I focus from that genetic side, but people see my content and think that's it. You know what I mean? I think that spiritual health is another input into your cells that so many people are completely cut off from. And there's so many studies, like you were mentioning, the placebo, the nocebo as well. People literally can change inflammation in their blood just by being told this pill is going to hurt you beforehand. And it's like, of course, the right supplements, nutrients, foods, they all work. But really mastering that mind, that power of the placebo, it's like, how far can you go just with that mindset alone? You know what I mean? And I also think that people that are trying to change their mind states, they want to change their worldview, their belief system. you can have these mutations that make your brain much less able to grow. That neuroplasticity everyone talks about, that's key to lasting change. Your brain can be hardwired to not do that quite as well as somebody else. So imagine throwing in a couple specific nutrients your unique brain needs to work better. That can make that actual click in your head actually occur. Everyone can take their own, and everyone can take someone else's advice. Oh, I should be doing this, or oh, I should be getting up and doing these things. But to actually have that neural circuitry change and adapt that and implement that into your life, you need to be growing these new pathways. And for certain people, I think these nutrients can only help. Now, you don't got to be going off the deep end with all these crazy mumbo jumbo supplements. I'm also very vocal. People use the wrong supplements. It may work for one thing, but not for the other things. So you just really got to figure out exactly what each person needs. But yeah, couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Yeah, and I want to say that for a second because there's so many influencers out there that have power in regards to influencing people to take something. There's doctors, and you can argue that like medications like Adderall are being overprescribed. Mm-hmm. What do you think the biggest misconception is of supplementation these days, Dr. Tyler?
Yeah, I definitely think people just think the same supplement except affects everybody the same exact way. So you can find a bottle of like curcumin. It's a commonly used anti-inflammatory herb. What do you see on the bottle? Anti-inflammatory, brain health, gut health. Well, did you know that it also chelates iron out of your body? So I've worked with people, their hair is falling out. No one knows why. It's the curcumin supplement they're on. Their healthcare practitioner put them on that, but all they did was read the bottle, because all you read is what's on the bottle. And understanding pharmacology, any one molecule does countless things in the body. Nothing does just one thing. So to really get to the root of it, you need to figure out everything that product does to you. And does it, think about a jigsaw puzzle piece. You don't got to just fit in one end of it. You got to fit in all these other sides of the jigsaw puzzle piece. And that's where I really think I'm calling what I'm doing hyper-personalized. It's not just a DNA printout. These make sense for you. I'm really going in there. Does this exact thing make sense? If you have high iron and want low inflammation, that curcumin could be perfect for you. But if you're genetically low in that iron, you can have severe anemia and a lot of health issues, and no one will know why. Because guess what? That's not put on the bottle or the label. Even doctors, they just go off what's on the label. They don't have to go to, there's no formal training for the supplements. And that's why I'm really excited to be launching educational courses as well, because I see so many people on the wrong supplements, even recommended by healthcare professionals, because there's no formal training. It's all out of good heart. No one wants to hurt anybody, but it's just misinformation.
David, this kid right or what?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny because I talk about, people ask me, what's my favorite supplement? And I said, well, I only know one supplement that is utilized and can be utilized for everyone, and that's water. And water, if you put your intentions in the water before you drink. So when I'm drinking my water, and I encourage everyone to drink at least 100 ounces a day. It's a great supplement, by the way, but put your intention to it. So I tell my water before I drink it, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am happy. And then because water is such a conductor of electricity, of energy, and I am almost all water, as you know, doctor, I'm actually infusing over 80% of myself, my bag of beliefs, with that intention of happiness, health, wealth, and worthiness. And I encourage everyone beyond the water, because that's the only thing I know that works, to get a doctor like Tyler that's going to go ahead and see how you are personally, what you need personally, not off of a bottle, but by looking at your cells, your dead blood cells, your live blood cells. It will tell you your entire story. It will tell you the entire story with the cell. And you can see, I've seen it in a big screen, my own live cells, and how they eat up proteins. And I've changed the protein I eat, because he could literally show me, the doctor, how this was not good protein. It was taking the cells so long to process the protein. And then he showed me a different protein after I ate that, and how easily it was digested and what it was doing to my cellular self. So I cannot encourage anyone more than understanding that you are your own fingerprint, and get a glove that fits you, and you'll be protected for life. Sorry, Craig, go ahead.
No, This is great. I know you have to hop off in a minute, Dave, but I wanted to ask this to Dr. Tyler. One of the many cool things that you talk about is that sometimes people think that they're staying organized by just getting their blood work done, but your blood work can actually be misleading. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, definitely. And this is what's really super cool about these genetics. So anything in your bloodstream, we'll use vitamin D as an example. Everyone knows you want good vitamin D blood levels. That floats around your bloodstream and that'll bind a little receptor on your cell. That's what tells your body, hey, make me more serotonin and dopamine. Go fight off that virus. Makes my bones stronger. It has to bind that so your cells sense it. Well, that little receptor can be mutated. So imagine, the weatherman says, oh, it's a high of 60, but it's a real feel with the wind chill of a 40. So your blood levels might say you have a 60, which is pretty good. But in reality, the real feel for your cells is actually a 35 or a 40. So adding the genetics here, think about the ranges for these blood works. Vitamin D is like 30 to 100, which is a huge range for normal people. How do we know if you should be at a 60 versus a 90? And as I dig deeper into this, it's just fascinating that blood levels are just one piece of the picture. Because if your cells are more sensitive, David, to vitamin D than mine are, I'm going to have higher blood levels at all times in order to feel that. So I'll work with people with a lot of these mood issues, autoimmunity issues. The vitamin D is good by regular standards, but we figure out, wow, we got to crank that up a bit because the cells they're hungrier for it. They need more in the bloodstream to compensate. And that just really kind of flipped how I totally look at blood work now. I always look at it with the genetic stuff there because, again, hardwiring your cells for what levels you should be at. You can be living in that deficiency, being told you're normal by a regular conventional medicine doctor or even a holistic doctor that doesn't understand these genetics. And David, I want to ask you, what was the shift, I'm curious, between the different type of proteins you were eating that agreed with you versus didn't?
Yeah. So for me, and I wouldn't know the exact type of protein, so I was using, not to diminish somebody else because their body might be different, but the think bar proteins were more processed proteins, and my body had a difficult time processing it. And then I actually went to the Kirkland protein bars that are the Costco ones.
Yep.
And they're very pure. And then another great one,
I love those. I live on those actually. When I got to grab and go, 2 or 3 of those is a perfect grab and go. Yep, love those.
And I can feel cleaner. Like I actually feel, and I use my feeling a lot of time, my intelligence, intuition, and inspiration as key components of if I'm doing things right, sleeping right, eating right, exercising right. Those are the 3 things I look at, and I qualify and quantify them. So every day I know what's different. Why is my intelligence down today, or my intuition down today, or my inspiration down today? And so, yeah, those Kirkland bars have been great for me. But it's nice to keep playing with that stuff. And it's not just one time. You can't go once a year either. These are things you have to look at. I just want to encourage people to pay attention and give intention to your health in this manner. And the fastest way to get to where you want to be is to find someone like Dr. Tyler who's already there and ask him for directions. You cannot, I'm good at what I do, and I know certain things from the hours and days and years and months that I've studied what I've studied, but I don't have the time to study what you've studied. And so I'd rather ask you for help with something that's critical for my health. And I help people with entrepreneurship and mindset and things that I've been doing for 35 years. I mean, how many people on earth have lost over $100 million and made it back? I've learned certain instructions, right? And so I can help people with that experience. You can help people with what's my number one non-negotiable, which is health. And I'm going to leave you both with this, and you guys can continue on. But I just want to remind people that if you are healthy, you get as many wishes a day as you want. And wishes are extremely valuable. If you are unhealthy, whether you're Steve Jobs, I don't care who you are on earth, if you are unhealthy, you will only have one wish a day. Make the choice. Find people like Dr. Tyler. Make it a non-negotiable to be happy. Spend more on your health than you do on your Ferrari. I promise you, you will thank me in the long run. Craig, you hear that? More on your health than your Ferrari. You got that?
Dave, we love you. Dr. Tyler, stay on for 1 minute. I want to ask you one more.
I love you guys. I have to go to the Giants right, hang out Hey, reach out, Dr. Tyler. We'd love to do more with you.
Will do, absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great
You
day.
guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Dr. Tyler, this is so much fun. I'm so proud of you. I wanted to ask you because you mentioned the word mutation a couple times. I imagine there's some people on here that are like, what the hell is a gene mutation?
Yes.
How would you simplify that?
Yeah, so we all have our DNA that's basically the code of life. It's the instructions, the instruction code on how we make these little proteins in our cells. So how our cells can do all these things they do and make us dopamine, keep our bones strong, all these little machinery pieces, the Lego pieces are made from the DNA, so the instructions. So you can have misspellings in that instruction code, letters spelled wrong that you inherited from your parents, their grandparents, and so on. And that misspelling can make a Lego piece not work as well. So imagine you're trying to build this huge Lego set and you have like 10 Lego pieces that are deformed and half broken. That skyscraper you're trying to build with the Lego set is going to be very, very, very fragile. So then maybe you're in a moldy environment or you're very stressed or you're not eating good. That on top of the genetics is what really makes it all fall over. And people have no idea how they got there. This is why a lot of times people say diabetes runs in my family or depression does, because those same genes that maybe you don't make as much of the happy serotonin, or maybe you make too much of the adrenaline that gives you that fight or flight response. Your cells will be hardwired to function that way.
I love this. I imagine everyone on here, and we're going to repurpose this, are wondering how they can work with you. How can they get under the hood? What are some ways that people can work with you a little bit more intimately?
Yeah, absolutely. So my website, www.drtylerpanzner.com. My link is in my bio there. I do one-on-one consults with people where basically you spit in a tube, I work my magic, and across over 80 million gene mutations, put together a nice report for you, and I call making it toddler proof. I'm not going to just give you a list of supplements and say this is what works for you. We're going to handpick them together based on our conversation, and literally a toddler proof protocol. This at this time of day, this many things this time of the day. If you're feeling a little anxious, take a little more of that. Broken down as simply as possible for you. I'm going to be launching a holistic genetic health mastery course soon, just to educate healthcare practitioners. I'm telling you guys, the way people are misusing these supplements due to lack of education, it's really, really astounding. So I want to be the change I want to see in the world and educate other people. Then you have me on Instagram, of course. Been pumping out more content than ever there to really just show how my brain works. It's a really new angle that I think makes the most sense as a starting point for health and wellness.
I love it. How can people opt in to find out more about some of the updates when your course comes out and so forth?
Yeah, so I have a link in my bio as well for my email newsletter. And basically that's just going to be letting people know early release when I start opening enrollment. I'm going to be doing monthly updates, basically what I've been up to, maybe recent science I found really interesting. But that email newsletter is a good way to stay informed. And also, you got to check out my content. I do a lot of my content pretty much on my walks. I love being outside, multitasking. I'm a busy guy, just talking with you guys. So I started a subscriber system in Instagram as well. I want to have Instagram lives, kind of like this, me just walking, talking in the sunlight. Any questions you guys have, health, wellness, vitamins, supplements, mental fortitude, anything. I'm just trying to get my message out there, but also build a tight-knit group of people that are like-minded, that some people just want to not have like joint pain to play with their kids. Other people really want to optimize every living second. I can help with all walks of people, but I truly love optimizing every single second. This is the only life I have in this body. So I want to make sure that I'm the most fulfilled, that I'm thriving the most I can every single day.
Yeah. And before we land the plane, someone wrote in the chat, Dr. Tyler, do you work with mold illness and chronic Lyme?
Yeah, so yes, absolutely. And my approach is pretty unique because a lot of practitioners will focus on, herbals and things to help with the mold. But a lot of people that get mold, they'll continually get it over and over again. Why is it that some people in the family get mold and others don't? They live in the same house. So I figure out exactly which pathways, where's the kink? Why are you getting hit so hard by this mold? Why can't you get rid of it? Which nutrients do you need to be extremely precise and not trying a different herb after 6 weeks, a different herb, 6 weeks, a different herb, figure out exactly why your cells are so sensitive to mold to begin with, which to me is the true root cause treatment.
I love it. Could you be any more fire? I'm so proud of you. I imagine the way Dave looks at me, hopefully is the way I look at you. You are the future. And one of the cool, when I think of you, I think of like the perfect hybrid between health optimization and personal development, because I
Yeah,
know it's important to you as well, right?
absolutely. That's something I want to get into more as well. Grateful to have you in my corner now. You are who you surround yourself with. And yeah, just being confident in my message. I know this stuff works. I know it can accomplish things people say weren't possible. Need to get that message out there. But, applying this science to get your brain working good, you got to know how to think good as well. And that's where, what you do, what David does, the stuff that I'm trying to get into as well, really the total package, tying it all together, because we all come from different walks of life. Some people have a harder road they need to walk up of, whether it's past traumas plus the genetics. Some people need more support, and it's a little harder to put yourself out there like that. And that's something that can be improved upon.
I love it. And for anyone that's watching that might be considering or is coming to CLS Beverly Hills, Dr. Tyler will be there.
Can't wait. Can't wait. The first CLS Live was an absolute blast. I'm in New York, flying across the country, no questions asked. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be a blast.
Love it so much. Love you, buddy. I'm so proud of you. We'll have everyone opt into your email and so forth, and keep changing the world and doing the great work you're doing. And you and I will connect later. Have an unbelievable weekend.
Love you too, man. Great to meet everybody. I hope everyone else has an awesome rest of their weekend. Take care.
Bye, buddy. So much fun, guys. If you weren't paying attention to Dr. Tyler, you should be right now. Opt into his email and so forth. He's got so much exciting stuff going on. He's got some big updates coming down the pipeline in regards to his course and so forth. Just doing amazing things, straight up. I have so much pride watching him grow and spread his wings, similar to how Dave mentored me and so forth. I'm mentoring Dr. Tyler, and I couldn't be more excited about the impact he's going to make on this world. He's a young cat, and he's hungry, and he's focused, and he's very smart. So if you weren't familiar with him, you are now, and definitely give him a follow. Check out his awesome content. He's doing really, really big things. Love you guys. It's been a big week for us. As you guys know, we locked in our TED Talk, manifestation complete. Obviously, I still got to go perform and do my thing. We're 3 weeks away from the Reinvention Formula book launch. I'm so excited about that. If you haven't grabbed a copy yet, you can grab it anywhere, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. And obviously, we have CLS Beverly Hills coming up August 19th, our first and only book signing. And we're throwing a huge live event. The last live event in New York City was said to be life-changing, over-delivering, spectacular networking, and so forth. And we're going even bigger for this one, August 19th, CLS Beverly Hills. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Let's have an unbelievable weekend and think bigger. You dig?